Good evening and welcome to Pound Posse Presents, where yes, we are jamming to the tunes. Anyway, welcome to the show tonight. We have Easter staring us down tomorrow, and we will be showing some of your pets' pictures in just a few minutes. But first I want to put out a little plea for Project Precious Rescue. Great ladies who have been on the show. They need fosters or adopters for 2 dogs, like ASAP this week. These dogs have been at the vet for medical boarding, and the vet is doing a grand scale cleaning and disinfecting of the premises, so they kind of need everybody out, and that would include the 2 dogs that Project Precious has had there. Hercules and Napoleon. Now Hercules, if we can bring him up, Zach. I'm putting Zach through his paces tonight with all the pictures. He's not loving me too much, but he loves me. He really does. Anyway, there is Hercules. Now Hercules is about a year old. He's about 45 pounds. He had severe mange, and he was a hot, bleeding, awful mess. And he's been well taken care of. He's definitely come a long way. He was in a foster home, and it just really wasn't working out, and he did have a bit of a relapse because his treatments weren't being kept up on. So he went back into the vet, and he's gotten his little tune-up, so to speak, and so he's back on track. His mange is not contagious. He needs a little training. He's got some manners, but he needs a little training to help him get along. He may be a little bit dog selective, but he is a total lover boy. You can just look at his face and you just want to smooch him up. He's every bit as golden as that face is, so he really needs a place to go where he can settle for a while, either as a foster or someone to scoop him up and love him forever and be his forever home. The next dog is Napoleon. If we can get Napoleon up there. Napoleon's a little min pin. He was, he's got a thing for eating rocks, and he had eaten a rock, and his owners chose to bring him to the vet to ask to have him to be put down rather than go through the surgery to remove the rock. Now, he's only 4 years old. He's young and healthy, maybe a few rocks in the head for eating rocks, I don't know. But Project Precious took him in and had the surgery done, and he's doing very well. He's a sweet, cuddly little guy. He just needs, again, a place to land, either until he finds a home or until, unless someone wants to actually just step up and adopt him. However, they're always going to have to keep their eyes open because, there's only so many times you can do surgery on anybody. I can't imagine if he's got a rock-eating disposition that it won't be maybe a close call again, but it doesn't necessarily have to be doesn't have to happen if you keep your eyes on them, let's put it that way. So Napoleon and Hercules need a place to land this week, like I said, either as a foster or if someone's interested in adopting them and calling them theirs forever. Project Precious Rescue at gmail.com. That's Project Precious Rescue at gmail.com. That's where you can contact Katie and Christy and put in your application, see what you can work out to help them out. And we can show Hercules one more time, and then Napoleon, and then I'll take the camera back. Oh, God, I love that face. And there we go. So, yep, those guys need a place to land this week. God, it looks like I was in the kennel. Did you see how that worked out? Maybe that's where I belong. I don't know. Anyway, so as I mentioned, we've got Zach's in there, stop it. With ears and everything. Talk about placement, right? Stop it, Zach. Oh, no. Okay, so we're losing our minds a little bit here on Pound Posse Presents, but you know what? It's all in good fun. So we have pictures of your dogs that were submitted, and a couple that I admit I stole because they were cute. We're going to start with Allison Leo's crew because, of course, you know, she tortures her dogs on a fairly regular basis. And we've got Busy with her Bo. Let's go, Zach. And there she is. You were trying to see how that lined up. I know you are. There's Busy with her Easter bow. She looks a little humiliated, but it's pretty nonetheless. Then we've got Blackjack, who was even more humiliated. He was hiding behind the table. He really didn't want any part of that, did he now? Poor Blackjack. And you guys should recognize him from being on the show. He was a guest here. And then we have her Blaze with bunny ears, which is pretty cool. Look, there you go. The big shepherd nose and the ears. Gosh, you know, he's gotten so big. I remember carrying him around the store as a puppy. But he is he's larger than life and full of life, and Allison caught him with a little Easter bunny there. Next, we've got Busy with her ears. There she goes. Not looking like she's real thrilled either. And then, of course, we've got Blackjack because we've got to make it complete. I wonder if he was doing his roof trick there. Oh, thanks a lot, Zach. I'm hardly the bunny ear type. But there's Blackjack in all his glory. And I asked Allison how his health was. And he is pretty much, you know, he's got a really great prognosis. I mean, he's doing fabulous. He's almost better than new. Whatever she's doing right. God bless her. God bless him. And, you know, may he never go downhill because of the cancer. You know, he's just a beautiful big mush, and you got to love him. And, you know, if you missed him on the show, go look it up on YouTube because he was hilarious. I don't know if there was anything so funny as Allison and me on the couch and him trying to get up here, too. It was great. Anyway, the next one that I'd like to show is friends of our show and hopefully future guests with kind of a scary Easter bunny. We've got on the right-hand side, Hudson of Hudson and Pearl, the railroad puppies. Those puppies were nailed to railroad tracks in upstate New York. Pearl, his sister, lost some toes. Hudson has a prosthetic paw, which is pretty interesting because their daddy has to do like an awful lot to maintain that thing, it seems. But he's living a full and happy life with his sister Sammy, who is on the left side. And they're just one big happy family. But I'll tell you, I don't like that Easter bunny. I think it's scary. But that's just me. Yeah, you know, that's like kind of like 1950s scary looking bunny, yeah.
This one looks pretty funny.
Say that again, Zach?
This one looks pretty funny if you're in the picture.
Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead, do it.
It's like they're gonna kill you.
Zach is having way too much fun with the backgrounds tonight, and well, you know, bunnies multiply, don't they? They're just like, you know, popping up behind me. Boy, I didn't think this would be this much fun tonight. Anyway, one of the pictures I couldn't resist was of our friend Laurel and her dear Addie, who she's had on the show with us. She decided to get in on the fun, and that's just a fabulous picture of, you know, bunny Easter love. Addie is her senior that she took in from the City of Hartford Animal Shelter, and she's a beautiful girl. She was here on the show, And there they are, all decked out, ready to do the bunny hop for Easter. The next picture is of Leon, who belongs... Stop it, Zach. I know what he's going to do. It's horrible. Leon belongs... He's having too much fun back there. He's having too much fun. It's not fair. It's at my expense. Anyway, can we please show Leon? Leon belongs to Sherry, and they live in Rhode Island. And he is just such a sweet dog. She puts pictures up of him all the time. And I love his face. And he looks a little degraded with the bunny ears, but not so bad. I'm afraid for Zach what he's going to do again. But okay, we've got one more. And hello, Zach.
Oh, it's there. It's lagging.
Okay, it's lagging. That big boy is Booger, who belongs to my friend Michelle, who is a wonderful lady. And she's somebody I've never met, but she's like one of those friends that you know is a friend on Facebook, whereas so many people are just duplicitous, backstabbing types. But yeah, Michelle's the real deal, and that's her Booger. And I just think that's too funny. Almost looks like those ears are light up or something. They look neon-y or fluorescent. But that's her handsome boy, and you gotta love him. And go ahead, Zach, are you gonna humiliate me again? Oh, it doesn't line up right? What a shame.
Not really.
Okay, well, let's, yeah, no, it's not as good as the other ones.
I think I'll just keep it on this one for a while.
You need to stop, young man. Let's run through all of those one more time. From the top, starting with Busy and her beau. We'll give everybody equal airtime. And I've totally disappeared. No. Yes, I do. Don't show me, show the dogs.
Okay.
So that's Busy, and we've...
I'm not sure what you want now.
I've got Zach, just run through them all one more time. And try not to linger on the embarrassments for me, okay? Yeah, you'll try to behave. Yeah, I know how that works. And there goes Blackjack. Okay, you can move them.
Yeah, again.
Blaze. And Busy. And Blackjack again. And Sammy and Hudson. And Laurel and Addie. And Leon. And and good old Booger. All right, getting on to some other dogs who are all decked out in their spring and Easter finest. The City of Hartford Animal Shelter has a number of urgents for this week. Let's bring those up, Zach. And you'll notice that they have pretty names: Parasol, Pinwheel, Rainbow, and Puddles. And they all have dates underneath. And yeah, my friend here, John, is laughing. They do a great job naming these dogs. They pick little themes, so that's their springy theme. And you know, they had an Easter theme, and they pick movies, and they come up with some really great names in addition to all the great work they do. But these are all the dogs, and the dates that appear underneath their names are their urgent dates. If they are not out of the shelter on that day, they will not make it out alive. So you want to try to scramble and help these dogs out. If you go to the City of Hartford Animal Shelter's Facebook page, all of the descriptions for these dogs are up there. They will be available, as I said, on the date that shows underneath their name. City of Hartford Animal Shelters had a great track record. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, they did lose one of the few they've lost, but we won't dwell on that. Let's save these guys and as many more as we can, and do it in honor of the ones that are lost every day, you know, around the country. All right, I'll take the camera back. And I'm just feeling this distrust of Zach tonight.
Alright, if you want me to stop, I can.
No, it's, you know, really, what am I going to do? Your youth. Anyway. He's a mischievous. Huh?
I think this one's pretty creepy.
Yeah, that is. That's almost like you could hear the Jaws music coming up behind me. All right, so tomorrow is the last day to vote for the Forever Rescued Foundation calendar contest. Our dear friend Joey Pepper has got a real strong showing, so he's pretty much a shoo-in. There's a few, Zachary! There's a few other dogs who are very strong showers. Hudson and Pearl need some more of your votes. Zach is just cracking himself up back there. Hudson and Pearl need some more votes. It'd be a great thing if they could get into the calendar. Again, this is the calendar that you know, my mojo is in, so it's a near and dear project to my heart. Winners will be announced on Monday, and it'll be curious to see how it plays out, because as we found out last year with Mojo, you know, if you're lingering down towards the end, it kind of becomes anybody's game. You know, somebody can come up from behind, and even though it's a vote once a day thing, it was supposed to be, you know, it was supposed to be vote once a day, but that kind of didn't happen, so it's vote once. You know, you get people start to vote, and it can shift around. You know, the people up in the front, you know, 12 winners. You have 12 months, 12 winners. So it doesn't have to be about first or, you know, being the only person in the lead. But you have to be in the top 12, and those last few positions can shuffle around, and anything can happen. So let's keep Hudson and Pearl in the running, because you know, like I said, they're those little puppies who were nailed to the railroad tracks. One of them was lost in the because she just was not doing well, and I know that Hudson's daddy, Rich, is open to the idea of bringing him on the show, so that would be really cool. And we're just looking forward to that at some point. Alrighty, so with tomorrow being Easter, I'm going to put out another plea to keep your pet safe. You know, they're not necessarily used to having company over. You know, you have your family, they put food down on a, you know, a dish of food down on a coffee table or something, and you know, you just can't blame your dog if they're going to go after it. You really shouldn't put, you know, your hors d'oeuvres or appetizers within your animal's reach. That's just a recipe for disaster. If you have people who are going to be coming in and out of your house that aren't used to the fact that, you know, your pets may bolt out the door, you might want to put them in another room or in a crate or someplace safe. You know, don't let your dogs get into someone's alcoholic drink that they've put down carelessly. You know, if your dog gets a little uncomfortable around activity and people and strangers, you know, it's just safer for everybody, and just the fairest thing to do is to put your animals someplace where they're out of the traffic of having company for the holiday. You know, I know I say it over and over, but I feel very strongly about it. It's up to you to keep your pet safe. They don't know any better. And, you know, you really can't blame your company so much if they're not accustomed to having their own animals. You know, they go in and out, don't close the door, aren't careful, cat gets out, dog gets out, and then you've got a whole nother crisis on your hand. And, you know, especially in the case of a cat, you may not even know the cat got out for a while, so it could be long gone. Anything could have happened by the time you figure it out and go out looking. So, you know, keep everybody safe. It doesn't take much. Sometimes it takes a little effort, and sometimes it's the effort that people don't want to put into it, but it's the right thing to do. Anyway, this is getting to be event season. You know, the weather's getting nicer. People are going to want to be doing things and getting together for a cause. So, Zach, you think I don't see you? You're horrible. Anyway, this Friday, for Karuna Bully Rescue, there is a bowling for Bullies event in Milford, and that's at 7 p.m. And I have all that information on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. I have the event shared, so you can go and check that out. Saturday, April 6th from 10 to 3:30, it's Raining Cats and Dogs at the Bridgeport Animal Shelter. That's an adoption event. I love their poster for it. It's that like whole Raining Cats and Dogs thing and the guy with the umbrella. But whatever. That's from 10 to 3:30 on Saturday. And they have some really, really great animals available there. Jimmy does a great job of, you know, doing what he does, and so we appreciate him. And that is also on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. On Sunday, this is a different approach, April 7th at 2 p.m. It's Posing for Paws. It's a yoga event. I can't move to get out of this chair, never mind doing yoga, but I think that's really cool. It's like an people, it's getting more popular, I think, yoga and all of that. But that is for Rough and Scratchy. And again, that is up on my Facebook page, Pound Posse Presents. And we've got a few minutes left. And I just, we've got hopefully some good people coming up on the show. Still waiting to hear back for someone who committed to next week, which I think is a guest that you'll really enjoy. In a couple of weeks, I've got someone who I found really, really interesting. You know, sometimes you meet people by accident and the story unfolds very quickly. I ran into a woman the other night and we like hit it off and started chit-chatting, and she told me where she worked, and I said, oh, I wrote one of my CBS articles that included that place. She's like, that was you? Yep. She saw that was like, you know, one little bond. And then I went on to hand her my cards, and, you know, my Examiner card and my Pound Posse card, and her boyfriend were like, Pound Posse? And you could tell there was an air of recognition. And I said, yeah, do you know the show? And she held up her card, and she said, does that look familiar? And I had to laugh because it's someone I was messaging with to come on the show. I said, are you kidding? Is that you that I was messaging with? And she's like, yep. So it's a really crazy world, and things happen in strange ways and for a reason, but whoever would have thought this random stranger that I'm talking to I had connected with previously in one way or another. But yep, I'm going to keep it all secret as to who I've got coming on, because that's, to me, it's less of a disappointment if it doesn't happen. But I think she's golden. I think she's all gung-ho. And I'm excited. I think you guys will like it too. Anyway, you know, I just went through some of the events that are upcoming. If anybody's got an event that they want me to pay some attention to, please feel free to reach out to me, either via Facebook, my Pound Posse Presents page, or, you know, anybody can always email me at pawprints713@aol.com. That's pawprints713@aol.com. If you've got a dog that you're fostering or a cat that you're fostering and you want to bring him or her on the show, that's perfectly acceptable, and you just contact me and we'll set something up. If you're someone who is camera shy, I've got a few individuals who will come and help me handle the animal, and you can just sit off to the side. We've done that a couple of times. You don't ever have to come on the camera. We've got it covered for you. So that's, you know, one of those things I'm just going to keep throwing out there, because, you know, there's no reason why people can't, just because they're afraid, have their animals on. I would love it. And so how much time do we have left, Zach?
We still have a little while before we do the thing.
Okay, the thing. I love the thing. He's too funny. Anyway, let's show the pictures again real quick, because I know Zach's getting too much fun out of that anyway. Huh? No, you don't have to. There's Hercules and Napoleon looking for their homes. Here's our Easter pictures. I still love that little shameful face hiding behind the table. We're getting a lot of mileage out of this week. He's terrible. But at least it's with blackjack, so that's not so bad. I know what, there you go. Yeah, oh no, here comes another set of ears. Zach is having too much fun. Actually, I think it's pretty funny too. You can tell there's not a whole lot going on this week because I'm not preaching at anybody. There's the urgents for Hartford for this week. Let's get them safe without any, you know, it's easier to get approved early than late. You know, it doesn't leave it to the last minute. Unfortunately, Hartford dogs get saved, but there's like a whole lot of cliffhanging and nail biting and all that. If you really are interested, do it and do it early. Anyway, there's my credits. Zach has got the proverbial, what is it, the cane, I always say, that they pull you off with in vaudeville. So until next week, where hopefully we're going to have this guest that I think is really cool, I'm going to say peace, love, and dogs. Go ahead, Zach.